Momentum is definitely a helpful thing for someone starting. Although for someone who's at the highest echelons of like that scale, what I've actually started to do is incorporate throwing roadblocks into my day, like actually putting a coin on the left side. It's non-consequential. It's like purposeful. I've used the word before. It's basically like my rest days, right? I'll put a coin on the left side. Now it's a planned thing, so arguably I'm putting it to the right. It's deliberate de-optimization. Deliberate de-optimization basically means, because if I get so used to having momentum, it means that something outside of my control, I'm then at the whim of.
Good luck to my ancestors.
Hope they're well.
Hope they're well.
Great little caviar.
Very good caviar.
We had to cut out a lot of stuff from last episode, like the Asian accents and everything like that. I'm kidding. We get that all in. I was with Harry. He came over. Yeah, he came over and I was like, you know what? We're keeping it all in. Because realistically, if I say something in an accent, it's not racist. I'm not actually being racist. Like, I'm just making fun of something. And
it's yourself. That's how you are. It's you.
Facts. Well, actually, the reason why jokes are funny is because it's not me doing it. Like, sorry, it's not me as that. Like, if I was to do a Trump impression, it's funny because I'm doing it because I'm not Trump. But if Trump does it normally, it's just not that funny. And the reason why jokes are funny is because it's actually just not you doing it. Like, I could do my Ching Chong accent, and it's fine. Was that...
You didn't say Chinese accent.
I'll just play it into it. Yeah. But also, I don't hate that race, therefore I'm not being racist.
Yeah,
right?
We love all the culture that comes. So me and Nick, we've got a trip planner sort of thing, and there's a lot of China in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Charles is also on that one, if he can get time out of his schedule. But yeah, there's a lot of I think that's the...
I actually don't even know how to pronounce the places. Is that Gonzo?
Gonzo.
How do you say it?
Oh, 빈치링.
She's pretty good.
Thank you. I reckon I could go there just as a local and go, shinju desu ka? That's Japanese. Yeah.
When you get the sky, you know?
Yeah. Shinju desu ka? It would be so great. I could just go to a restaurant and I wouldn't know a lick of Japanese, but I would just, hit them with the accent. Boku wa Shinji desu. Sensei, konnichiwa. That's good stuff. Yeah, wow. It always comes back to the accents, but nonetheless, it is funny. It's great. It's a great time. But the actual topic for today is talking about the compound of making the right decision.
You want me to read out?
I got it off the dome. It's alright. But maybe I'll come back to it if I forget. So, one thing that I thoroughly believe in, and it's a main component in the SCULPTED app, which is talking about taking very small steps and having congruency in your word. I've spoken to you about it before, Alfio. Having congruency in your word. So if you say something, you better do it. It's like a contract. Actually, I'll give you an analogy. If I tried to turn my phone on and I pressed the on button and my phone didn't turn on, is it broken? It's fair to say it's not working, right? So, if I was to believe something myself and I say that I'm going to do something, but I don't do it, I'm also broken. Because when I try and do an action, but it doesn't work, the same thing as me trying to turn my phone on, it doesn't work. It's broken.
You didn't say it was broken, you said it wasn't working.
Sure, but it could imply that something isn't functioning right. Whether it's frequently not working, sure, it's broken. Whether it's infrequently working, it's just not that great and efficient. And the odds of it actually having a full revival is much less likely than it being fixed, right? So, in my mind, when you say that you're going to do something, you better do it. The other example is if I have, let's say 10,000 coins in front of me. I'm getting one coin, and there's a scale. There's a big weight scale, like olden day scales. Like, I don't know, is scale the right word?
No,
yeah?
There's a name for it, isn't there?
Regardless, if I had one of them big scales, and the cups were here on either side, and it was pretty tall, it could go all the way that way and all the way that way. Each one of my decisions is represented by 10,000 coins in front of me. No matter how big the decision is, the coin represents the decision, okay? So I get one of these coins and I move it to the right. I make the right decision. I keep moving these coins to the right. Keep moving these coins to the right. Soon enough, this this part of the scale will be so far down on the floor that for me to even put a coin on the left side, it's more difficult for me to actually do that than put something on the right side. And what that represents is if I make so many right decisions, so many small decisions, it's easier for me to do what I've been doing previously than it is to change it. And if you can make the right decisions so many times, so many small things, like when I say I'm going to go for a run and I don't do it, I'm putting something on the left side. And if I say that I am going for a run and I do it, I'm putting it on the right side. This small compound of putting things to the right side because you say that you're going to do it and you do it, versus when you put something on the left. You put something on the left. Soon enough, the scale is like this, and the equation is balanced, but it shouldn't be balanced because, like a phone, when you're trying to turn it on, it should be responsive every single time. And the annoying thing about this scale as well is that it's easier to put things on the left side, and you can have the exact same response when you put things from the left side on, and it compounds and it drops all the way, and all of a sudden it's easier for you not to take action on the things that you said you did because it's so far up here that now it's just easy for you to move the coins to the left side. And I think that this is something that high performers really, really do well at, and it's known from the very, very beginning. But I think it's a very easy thing to also fall into, is starting to be okay with putting things on the left. And sometimes, like, it's not completely black and white. Like, sure, there may be some things, like life will always win, life will always get in the way. But if you can control it, it should always be put onto the right side, because your word is a binding contract. You should sign on that dotted line and make sure that everything that you say, you actually do. And that's a level of trust between yourself. Like, I would really, really, I think objectively, everyone here, if you would like to trust yourself, you would agree that putting stuff on the right side is better than putting things on the left. And this is also where I get a level of delusion, which is honestly, like, in my mind, it's art delusion, because I've gotten so used to putting things on the right side that I now know that things are possible. So if I know that things are possible and I keep putting it on the right side, then the thing that seems really, really ambitious doesn't seem too ambitious to me anymore, because most people don't see the scale. Like, if I was to say to a random person on the street, oh, I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z, and they look at it and laugh. But they don't see where my scale is. They don't know all of the things that I've done that makes it possible for me to even say that. Now, I might not get there, but for me to make that claim is much more realistic than someone who's never done anything before and their left side is massive and their left side is completely full. And this is the difficult thing about, like, when you meet someone for the first time, how do you convey that your right side is more full than your left? It's a difficult thing to actually convey. And when there is someone...
What do you need to convey it?
You don't have to, but let's say it's like, if I was to go to an investor, for example, and I need them to trust me, most people would assume, because of my age, because of whatever, they would assume that my left side is probably, similar to my right side. Where if you actually knew me, you'd know that I don't have anything on the left side. It's only on the right side. And so it's like relevant to convey it to someone who needs to know that information. But I won't even give it away to someone who doesn't need to know that information. Like, most people who know me or have known of me would assume it's probably like this. Maybe some people probably would imagine, like, I don't know, maybe he works hard. I don't know. I don't know what the general perception of me is. But it definitely is important to be very, very heavily weighted on that right side of the scale.
FYI, guys, the right side is the side where he does what he says he's going to do.
Thank you.
Then you're confused with left and right side.
Yeah. Did that make sense to you guys as well?
Yeah.
Thoughts, comments, queries, questions?
Well, I was going to say that when you use the running analogy, what do you think it's as important when you're in the process of actually doing the run? And because, you and me, we run a lot. We often come at a crossroad whether we should continue running more or whether we should stop when we start feeling tired.
Yeah.
That sort of
negotiation
process that you get.
Yeah.
For example, I'll find myself, I usually do a 10K, and when I get to about 5Ks, I've hit 5Ks, I'm like, oh, that's good enough. I got out there, but I did say 10K. If I do, and then I realized to myself that if I do stop at the 5K, I won't be doing the 10K for a long time as well.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, it doesn't matter how much I want to stop. I always complete the process. Even if I do it at a slower pace, I will still finish the run.
Yeah.
Because just like you said, it's all about momentum, I guess. Like the compound is about momentum as well. When you wake up in the morning and if you start your day the wrong way, it's a lot harder to get back on track. If you start your day with putting a coin on the left side,
Yeah.
you start wanting to keep putting your coins on the left side.
Yeah.
So I think momentum's a big part of it too.
So momentum is definitely a helpful thing for someone starting. Although for someone who's at the highest echelons of like that scale, what I've actually started to do is incorporate throwing roadblocks into my day, like actually putting a coin on the left side. It's non-consequential. It's like purposeful. I've used the word before. It's basically like my rest days, right? I'll put a coin on the left side. Now it's a planned thing, so arguably I'm putting it to the right. It's deliberate de-optimization. Deliberate de-optimization basically means, because if I get so used to having momentum, it means that something outside of my control, I'm then at the whim of. So like I've spoken to you, Afia, before about, if you're at the whim of a starting date, it means that you're also at the whim of the next day that you stuffed up. So if I say to myself, I'm going to start on Monday, and then from Monday it's going to be perfect. It's a rigid way of thinking, because then if you stuff up on the Tuesday, it means that you can only get better on the following Monday or the following next day that you set, which means you're at the whim of a system that's out of your control. And it's definitely right. Momentum is very helpful, but deliberate de-optimization is also important so that you can be in full control of when life gets in the way. Because what I realized was that when I had so much momentum, it would be easier to fall back out of momentum and use that as an excuse. But the reality is, even when you fall out of momentum, because it's sometimes out of your control, you also still have to take full grasp to know yourself that you can still get back on the horse exactly where you were.
Can you give us an example of deliberate de-optimization, something that you do on your rest day?
Well, my rest day is just deliberate de-optimization. Like, I shouldn't be working on my rest day at all.
So, like what? Like, I wouldn't really consider resting as deliberate de-optimization. I'd say that's optimal because, you're resting yourself to be more efficient in the working days.
But to the, that is exactly what deliberate de-optimization is in terms of, compared to what your norm is. It's not a perfect measurement. Like, if I was to say, my deliberate de-optimization is going for a 10-kilometer run because normally I go for a 100-kilometer run, that's like deliberate de-optimization. Your optimal is at 100 kilometers every day. But to de-optimize, it's maybe a 10K day. It's pretty,
Would you say running 100 kilometers a day is optimal?
In this situation, for someone who is de-optimizing themselves, it's all relative. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I just in sense of the word optimal, optimal just means that, it's the best way it can be.
For you.
For you.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say running 100K is optimal because...
But assuming for that person it is. It's an extreme.
For most people, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're talking extremes here, but for most people, it's not optimal because of the fatigue, the wear and tear, all that sort of stuff. So you run 100K usually out for a week.
Yeah.
But just like you said, running a 10K is more optimal because,
No, it's de-optimized compared to the 100K. It's...
But I don't know, it just doesn't... You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense as how 10K is
different but
compared to 100.
Okay, let's give another example.
100K is the same optimal.
No, but we're assuming that the optimal is that person's level of homeostasis. So, I don't know, let's think of another example.
That's optimal for Goggins, mate.
Okay, well then let's use Goggins as that example, right? For Goggins, imagine that's optimal for him. Then when he's purposely de-optimizing, which is essentially giving him more rest so that he can have the next 6 days at his best, he's purposely doing less on one day so that his next few days can be better. So, take out the distance and whatnot. The objective is basically at your highest level of competence of optimization. And it's the way that you would almost measure that is 100-meter sprint. How fast are you there? Go 80%, that's your optimal consistently, potentially. Because if you go 100% every single day, then there's a level of decay that happens throughout the week. If I was to go 100% every single day, by the end of the week, I'm maybe operating at 70%. But if I was to go 80% every single day, I could actually consistently give 80%. And cumulatively, 80 times 6 would be
480.
480. Yep. Thanks.
Smash.
Helps.
I just wanted to know what sort of things you actually did that were de-optimizing on your rest day. Like I know you say you rest. What things do you do that?
Well, I can't lie. Like recently, and this is something that I have to live with, which is my rest days aren't completely de-optimized anymore. I don't have the luxury of doing so because it is a luxury. But it also, I feel the effect if I don't deliberately de-optimize throughout my week as well. I am objectively less productive if I don't have a full day of deliberate rest. But the reason why I can't have a full day of deliberate de-optimization is because I also have to work seven days a week, 24 hours a day, pretty much. Like I have to be at the phone waiting for someone because sometimes someone else's Sunday is the only day that they're available. So in that case, like recently, I haven't been as by the book and I have to just accept that and try and de-optimize it other ways and make it work. But the way that I would typically do it is like really just distract myself and get my head out of anything. So like I used to play...
Minecraft.
Yeah, that was but you know what? I'm going to double down.
No shame on that. You still play Minecraft?
No.
Minecraft.
I stopped playing it at the end of... No, maybe like halfway through last year. And the reason why is because I got such a good world and I ended up dying. And I was so far away from my base. Did it restart?
It just went black again.
Yeah. No, it's fine. BLM.
I can I could still...
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I'll just let it read.
Yeah, all good.
How would you define de-optimizing?
It's literally, if we assume that your 100-meter sprint is 10 seconds, optimizing for longevity for a week of 6 days is operating at like 80%. And then de-optimizing is going at like 0 to 10%. So for me, my de-optimization, as I said with Minecraft, because I was really operating so highly throughout my week, playing Minecraft to me is really, really de-optimizing because there's a level of like cognitive ability and focus that Minecraft takes.
And I mean, you enjoy it. You're doing something that...
Oh, I enjoyed.
Yeah, exactly. See? I feel like that's a big thing.
Zombies. Oh, the munch Minecraft sound. That would have been perfect. Yeah. Damn. Sorry, Len though.
Oh, I was just saying, like, you got to do something you like enjoy as well. I think, like I'm not saying you don't enjoy work, but something that just doesn't feel like it's work, and you just genuinely just you have to do it, yeah, exactly, or giddy.
Yeah, and that's how it would be. But no, Minecraft was a good example, but like realistically, I haven't really been able to afford the luxury of having a completely de-optimized day in a long time. Although I know that it's going to be like maybe 2 years of suboptimal de-optimization, but then I am really optimizing for doing that in the future much more frequently because I do feel the difference. Like I am much more productive when I have a fully de-optimized day compared to when I have a like negligible de-optimization. Like if I had 2 hours on Minecraft, which I wouldn't do, I'd only have like 24 hours because I'm off Minecraft. But yeah, getting back on Minecraft would be the dream. But right now, I'm just not good enough at Minecraft. I suck at Minecraft.
What's your new Minecraft?
I don't have a new Minecraft.
Define new.
I know. Like because I was saying I don't like to play it as much anymore.
Why? Because are you embarrassed to play it?
No. I am the Sir Creeper Gaming. Yeah, I got sick of it because I kept on dying. I'm not good at Minecraft. Like when because I'm also playing my iPad. When zombies come at me, I get a little bit scared.
You suck at Fortnite, man.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I did suck at Fortnite. I used to play Fortnite mobile. I didn't remember. Do you remember I used to Photoshop my wins?
Did you actually?
Yeah, but
I did not know that.
No, I think everyone knew that. I got like a 35 kill win, first place.
You, bro.
Oh, okay.
You lost my trust.
I was good at Photoshop back then as well.
You were.
Yeah, damn.
That's crazy. I just owned that. I never got wins. I was on a MacBook, so the ping was crazy.
Yeah, the ping's crazy. Yeah. Oh, I don't even get us started on Halo because after I'm going to have beef back and forth. Because I was definitely better than him, but he thinks he was better than me. And Sam Seawater.
Oh, yes. What do you play, Charlie? If you do play still, what you used to play? The Arkham games. Oh, Batman. Yeah, my next one.
Damn, really?
That's fine.
There's a new Batman coming out. Yeah, I heard about it.
I'm so out of the loop.
Like, it's a game, not a movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Damn, I didn't even know it was a game.
it's a good game.
Damn.
Really good game.
You have a PlayStation.
Yeah. I used to play the same things as him like this.
But you never really played PlayStation.
I did, but I never played like with the boys, like
Yeah.
on chat stuff. I just play by myself.
I don't really play, like, I know all my friends, they play for quite a lot, camping, all that, but I don't really, I'm above that now.
Yeah. We are right now.
No, me and Charlie are like cinema bros.
Yeah, to be
We
fair.
actually like a good movie.
Yeah.
I'll use that as that.
But actually, I don't know if
Yes.
this is like, advertisement or anything, but there's this app that Charlie told me to download called Letterbox, and you can rate, say if you've like keep track of the movies you viewed.
Really? Oh, damn, so it's got a full portfolio.
Yeah, put stuff in your watch list, and then you can follow your friends and see what they've been watching.
Does it give you like recommendations based on your movie type?
And you can write reviews too. I think you can write a review.
You've seen him write a review, just see Charles underneath.
What was their birthday for a movie?
What was the review?
Oh, it was like an English level essay. Yeah. He like
It's funny.
I was reading like wow, he's speaking something proud.
Reviews now.
It's got like, 8 films, like.
I said that. I'm downloaded the other day. He's been slapped.
Damn. That's crazy. That's cool app though.
It is a collab. Yeah.
Damn. That's pretty funny. Jeez. That we caveated quite a bit there, but we're talking about what de-optimization is. It to me it's navigating at that 0 to 10% like range. If that makes sense. Does that because like in my mind, if I was to start my week at 100%, just through fatigue alone, I would end up probably at like 60% by day 6. Just because I've been giving 100% every single day. And if you times that by 6, going from 100% to 60%, you'd be at a lower percentage for those 6 days than giving 80% consistently.
They're using the aerobic system instead of the anaerobic system.
Yeah. Because you can maintain it.
I'm trying to think if that's right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's aerobic or anaerobic, but whatever, big ups.
It is aerobic.
Keeping that steady line so that you can maintain it throughout the week. That's the purpose of, de-optimizing, but then also for consistency's sake.
Do you think that it's possible to pace yourself too much to the point where you're not giving? How do you find
It's a good point.
spot of giving as much as you can without burning out?
Well, burnout's fake.
Well, like
But-
you know what I'm trying to say. I'll reframe it.
Yeah. I've got a very, very strong opinion on it.
He gets like that.
Yeah, that's going to be another.
In the whole episode.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, how do you find the sweet spot from deliberately de-optimizing, although giving the max of that deliberate de-optimizing?
I get what you mean. Yeah, because, I mean, there probably will be days of which you're like almost forced to give more,
Yeah.
which probably means that the following day may take a hit. But it's not to say that you have to give 80% consistently. Like that could fluctuate. Maybe one day you're a little bit less productive. But it's a good point because if you get so stuck in your rigid system, it means that you maybe aren't pushing to the maximum of where you need to be, which would then help you get to the next threshold.
Sometimes, because your fitness, we're talking hypothetically here, your fitness can get better. So maybe 80% isn't the bar anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe 90%.
It's like when you start jogging and working out, for you to get fit, zone 1 is actually, even if you're running in zone 1, that's actually making you fitter because you're really unfit. Then you get a bit better, zone 2, and then you get higher and higher and higher, and all of a sudden your zone 5 is normal for you. And to get any fitter than zone 5, you have to make such a tiny incremental difference to your zone 5 fitness that it's like really, really difficult to get to. And it's a difficult thing to actually navigate, and there is no way of realistically navigating it. Like, this is so intangible. But the people who do manage it are subconsciously aware of their effort and the reward they get for it and kind of like where they sit. Like, where would you guys say, if you were to have the scale of Charles's life with the coins on one side and the other, and then Alfia's life between the coins of one side and the other, where does your scale lie?
I honestly think that my scale's tipped a lot more to the right side. You might disagree.
I disagree.
But you, like I said, you don't see.
You're right.
Don't see the thing that you said before. You don't see like what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
When I make that claim,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, right. But then I know the little things that I've done
For sure.
that I do
Yeah.
say I do, and I do them.
I would say you are on your health and fitness. Your scale is completely to the right. Like I don't know if you'd ever skip a workout because your priorities lie there.
It's a big thing for me. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say in other areas of your life, which you may not even be subconsciously aware of.
I know. Yeah, and some things like well, go on. Give me my example.
I mean, I would say like just simple things like, and this is like what we've spoken about before, like replying back to a message. But this may not even be subconscious. Sorry,
Yeah.
this might not even be a conscious thing to you, that you might not even think that you need to reply. It just may be a lack of prioritization, right?
Yeah, I've been pretty good.
You've been better. You've been better. 100%. 100% you've been better.
I'd say I'm probably your best replier at this point.
At this point, Charles is still there.
Oh,
I can ring Charles any answers.
I do answer every time. When do I not answer? I've always answered.
Recently, you've been good. But Charles has always been answering. Although we won't mention the sleep.
Is there anything else besides like the? Oh yeah. Is there anything else besides like the calls?
Yeah, there are, but it's like these are things that maybe I'm only aware of because I wouldn't let that slide.
Okay.
Because I've got a high standard, right?
That's fair. I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect. There's definitely other things.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, in the grand scheme of things, I think I tip more to the right side.
And quite possibly you do tip more to the right side as well.
Because when it comes to my calendar, everything that is written on my calendar. So messages, that's a big thing because that's not written on my calendar. I'll like sometimes think, oh yeah, I'll get back to that. But with everything that's written on my calendar, I'll always get those stuff done.
Yeah. But then you could make the argument, and you could make this argument for me as well. There's a detachment from, if it's in my calendar, that means that I have to do it, which means that if I don't want to do something, then I just don't put it in my calendar.
Yeah, that's true. But I'll just put the things that I like.
It's a level of accountability that you have between yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, you know.
Multiple, I guess.
Yeah.
Where's your scale?
I think. Well, what do you think my scale is?
No, that's not the question.
Well, I know that Alfio's told me a few times that you skip gym.
Yeah. Actually, recently, yeah.
Hate to call him out in the pod.
This week I have been working a lot though. I did a 12.5-hour shift on Monday.
Don't mean to brag, but I mean, I worked 6 days last week, and I went every single day.
If we want to go there,
Okay. I think when it comes to my sleep schedule, I tip so far to the left. It's not mine.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
But I think and because of that
So that's a big one.
sends a lot of my rest of my life
Yeah.
to the left.
Because that is actually a momentum thing that really does push a lot of things to the left. Because that has a massive compound and domino
I
effect.
say I'm going to go to the gym in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to bed at a good time, and I get a bit tired. I wake up too tired, and then I don't go to the gym.
Yep. And then you also start to eat poorly because that stuffs up your ghrelin, I think it is. Ghrelin, hunger hormone. That's a good point.
Like a chain reaction.
It is a chain reaction.
It's something I always seem to fall into. But I think a lot of other things I could more should right, but sleep schedule for sure. It's like almost 90%.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's also a level of efficiency that if you put so many things to the right, that it's like the compound effect. Like what Alfio does for when he moves something to the right, may be disproportionate to what you do, and it's disproportionate to what I do as well, because there's a level of efficiency that we all work at, and it's all relative. And my level of efficiency will be different to yours. Yours will be different to Alfio's, and it's all relative. And it's very intangible, right? Because it's like if I was to put in, I'll give it an example that is tangible, which kind of summarizes this. In software development and in UI UX design, there's something called like a 10x developer or a 10x designer. One of my friends, he's basically a 10x developer, which means that when he puts in 10 minutes of work, it would take a normal software engineer to do it in 60 minutes, basically. For me, I'm like a 10x designer. What I do in 10 minutes, it would normally take someone else like 60 minutes max. Like, there's a level of like, obviously, intangible stuff there, but it's like, as a general rule, someone who's really, really fast at it and someone who's really, really slow at it, I'm one of those like 10x designers. So what takes me 10 minutes may take someone else an hour to do. And mine's still better than theirs. And that's like a really, really high level of efficiency that people operate at.
Yeah, right.
And it's the same thing with life as well. That's kind of like the correlation that I was trying to draw there. Because, yeah, I mean, if you guys were to measure how many hours a day you waste, do you know what your number is?
I'd say most of my hours are wasted on. Oh, okay, that's something I'll tip to the left with.
Reels. I will be on reels for ages, and then like brain will snap, and then I just be like that. Oh shoot, gotta get back on task, you know.
Yeah, okay.
And then
Yeah, it just takes so much. I've got to get my screen time down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I also get like caught on reels, but I won't. I have a rule. If I ever get caught on reels, I have to watch the full length. It's like, but if I don't let myself scroll.
What's the full?
Yeah, if something pops up on my feed, I have to watch the full length. And if you do that, you're like, oh, stuff this. It's literally just more annoying to watch it that you just put it down. Because it's like, I have to.
You can't just scroll.
Yeah, you can't just scroll.
That's the trap.
Yeah. So if you like my algorithm, we know my algorithm is top tier. I get one Girls Gone Bible vid.
I was just about to shout.
I get one Girls Gone Bible vid. I'm like, I'll feel it. In Yeshua.
that's another thing that my scale tips to the left. I could be a bit more, what's the word? Staunch. In my face, staunch.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I feel
I
like
think you mean stump.
nah, staunch. Like,
Okay.
and like
I feel like sometimes I just, don't really reflect for what it's like.
be a Christian sometimes. I feel like I'm a bit more worldly sometimes
Oh, do you mean through your actions or through?
through my actions.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
My words too sometimes. Yeah.
no, but no, your words. You're only talking about like saying the wrong words, but I would say the way that you treat people, the way that you are
I'm
that
talking
way.
about, like profanity.
Yeah. I'm saying like put that aside. I would say the way that you treat people and whatnot is very godly. Like in terms of like
Don't put that on me.
you make mistakes, as does everyone. Like I have a very short temper with people. I hate people who like don't understand things and like are lying to themselves. Like I hate that stuff, and I've got a very short temper for it, and I have zero emotional intelligence when it comes to approaching someone like that because I'm just like, shush. It pisses me off. That's like one of my biggest flaws.
So, yeah.
Yeah, big ups, George. Yeah, she'll hopefully not listen to this episode.
No, but like he loves you, but he's just like that's just what I've observed, you know.
Yeah, thank you, Alfie.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, no, that's being a bit more staunch with your faith in your actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess
everyone. But also, again, that's a good point. Like, it's relative, right? Like, to what I might do may be relative to what you do. And your decisions, if you make 10 right decisions and 1 wrong, but I make 20 wrong and 2 right, they're relative. Objectively, you're doing better than me. But it's like, it's all relative. And that's the difficult, intangible thing. But if you can really tip that scale, like, if you can tip that scale, where would you say I land with the scale?
I'd say you're pretty far on the right for most things. I'm trying to think of. Can you think of something that he's on the left with? Not trying to scratch your ears from out here, but
I was like, if there was anything in the world left, it'd be eternal.
That's a great point. You probably wouldn't know about it if there was something like, I mean, I'll be like completely transparent. I think that I have thoughts of having things on the left, but I will never let it fully get there. But that also means that there are things that get there, because me even acknowledging that I don't know what the things are means that there are things, right? Because it just means I'm not aware to them, which was like what I was saying to you before, is if you act ignorant to the things that you're putting in your calendar, that means there's a whole heap of things that you're forgetting to put. And that's the exact same for me, which is it's a bad thing to fall into, but it's also a good thing, because it's like I'm operating at such a high level that I don't know where my imperfections are. But if I don't admit that I'm imperfect somewhere, that is a massive imperfection in itself.
That's the first step of finding out the imperfection.
Exactly.
the only way you can find them is the time as well, and making the mistakes and realizing, oh yeah, I got to work on this.
Yeah, 100%. There was another point that I was going to make, but I forgot what it was, and it was, I think it was talking like a bit about the running part. Oh yeah, so if I ever have one of those thoughts about stopping or not going for a workout, like the other night, it sucked actually. I had meetings really, really late. I was meant to have meetings from like 7 p.m. to 7:15. That was meant to be a 15-minute catch-up. It went from 7 p.m. to around 10 p.m. And I go for a run. Usually it's 6, but this time I had to push it back because I had the meeting at 7. And I normally go for a run after that meeting at 7:15. What happened is then I couldn't get that run done. And so instead of skipping it, I know that I have to do the run. And if I was going to do it at midnight or at 1 a.m., I still had to do it. And it's a binding contract. And I always make a point of, if I do promise myself to do something, I have to do it. Because I used to really, really struggle with it. Like when I was first starting out at football, I remember these thoughts of like, oh, I'm not going to go to Frost today. This is like year 7 and whatnot. And I used to always think, I'm not going to go to Frost. I'm not going to go to Frost. And then I got to the point where I'd be going to Frost 3 times a day. And I was building up that momentum. And if you ever feel that feeling like in a run, Alfio, I always try and prove to myself that my word is my word. And if I say that I'm going to go for a 5-kilometer run, and at the 3-kilometer mark, I'm not feeling like doing the rest of the other 2, I double down and I'm like, stuff it. 5 kilometers starts now, and I go for a 7-kilometer run instead.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often.
For me, the coins are too stacked on the right side that even if I don't feel like it, I'll just do it regardless.
Yeah, so the thought of going to the left happens, but you don't do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It just pisses me off because it's
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Good point.
11.
Yeah.
I'll just
We'll wrap this episode up.
call to action.
Oh, thank you. Subscribe. Follow podcasts on Instagram. Subscribe on Acast. No, not Acast. On your favorite listening podcast platform. I don't know English. And download the SCULPTED app because we're cool and things are happening. And in Yeshua, we'll be in Sydney soon.
Beautiful.
Just come outside for the night. Take your time, get your life.